3, 2, 1. Oh, geez, I'm in reverse. Welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at the X1 MAX from Exway. I've had this board for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Been riding it every day and I really like it. It has the same magic that the X1 Pro had, with a little bit more. Okay, so straight away, let's talk about the battery. It's 37 watt hours bigger than the previous model at 230 watt hours. Because that slightly bigger battery, it has a slightly longer deck. It's 4 centimeters longer, coming in at around 96.5 centimeters. The motors are also slightly bigger, now 750 watts compared to the old 680 watt motors. And because of all of that, obviously the weight has gone up a tiny bit, about 400 grams. It's now 8 kilos. 8 kilos are still very light for an electric skateboard with dual belt drive motors and a 230 watt amp hour battery. The ESC is still running Exway's famous, reliable, buttery smooth ESC that's built in conjunction with Hobbywing. It's a 30 amp ESC, and the model we're looking at today is the Riot Kit. Alright guys, so that's really all we need to talk about. I think we need to get the helmet, let's get the remote, and let's go and hit the road and show you why I love this board so much. And to celebrate the release of the X1 MAX, I wanted to give all my subscribers the chance for a giveaway. So today, all you need to do is put a comment down in the comment box and tell me what your most essential piece of safety equipment is when you ride an electric skateboard. Do you always wear a helmet? Do you always wear knee pads, wrist guards, thigh pads, whatever it is? Tell me what you think the #1 essential safety item should be. I will randomly pick one comment, one subscriber comment, so you need to be a subscriber, and we will do a live draw, and the winner will get a $100 NobleMan voucher. That's gonna come out in 2 weeks. So from 2 weeks from when this video goes live, we will do a live draw. And because this one is a subscriber only competition, you have to be in the chat to win. You need to be watching the live video. So if you're not there and you don't comment within 30 seconds of me announcing your name, we're going to keep drawing until someone in the chat is there. Good luck. Put your comment down right now. Alright guys, here it is, the X1 MAX in all of its glory. Now the very first thing I'll tell you, the very first big thing I love about this board is that it comes with these nose and tail protectors. I don't think we need to waste time with speed mode 1, 2 and 3. We know they're going to be super smooth and quite good for beginners and learners. So speed mode 4, now I've got the app set to standard today. So the only thing I've turned on is turbo mode, just because I just think it should always be on, especially with these boards running the 30 amp ESC. Now straight away, I just want to show you the carve on these trucks. Actually really nice. It's got a nice response to it. I'm going really slow at the moment just to show you. But the trucks themselves have got a really nice turn. Now the first thing I really love about this board compared to the Pro model is the noise. It might sound on the microphone that it's just as bad, but I'll tell you right now, it's nowhere near as loud. And they've achieved that by making much wider belts. They look about 16 mil, 15, 16 mil, but what that does is that delivers a much quieter board, a lot less whine, a lot less high pitch. So yeah, the Exway wheels just have a magical compound in them. They're just, even on this really corrugated concrete, still very smooth. I mean, you can hear them and you can definitely feel them, I'm not saying that. But if I was on here on a different set of urethanes, they would be shattering my teeth. But this is really nice. So guys, now let's test out the brakes. Even though it's kind of irrelevant because I can make them a lot stronger by going into free mode. Of course, free mode is when you stop, it actually tries to reverse your speed, not slow down your speed. Hello. As always, we'll try to get to about 25 kilometers per hour. Here we go. All right, nice and straight. Turn you around. Okay, there's 25 and brake. Oh, yeah. dead stop. Yeah, that was about 6 meters. That's pretty good, not bad. So, who's this board for? Well, I'll tell you who it's not for. It's not for somebody who wants a big range board, obviously. At 230 watt hours, they say 30 kilometers range, but according to their team, that's with a 70 kilo rider in speed mode 2. So, someone at my weight, I'm expecting 17, 18 kilometers in speed mode 3, doing a mixture of hills and speed bursts and so on. So I did a video a little while ago talking about the perfect commuter board, and I was testing out the WHINE Pro 2. This would definitely be on that list because it's so light at 8 kilos, and it's so easy just to pick up and lift or even pull behind you. I can carry this thing with one hand comfortably, you know. Get the remote out of the way. You can just pick this up and carry it. It's not hard, but you can also pick it up and pull it behind you because the motors are underneath. So unless you're over 6'5", you're gonna have no problem just pulling it behind you. Of course, if you're super tall, you're gonna hit the bottom. Right, guys, next up, let's do an acceleration test. You can see I've got about 80 meters of path here. Go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, geez, I'm in reverse. Okay, that's going to be in the bloopers section, or I might just leave it in. So yes, it does have reverse, in case you're wondering. Oh, here we go. Acceleration test in 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. That initial kick is really nice. 17, 18, 20, 23, 26, 27, 30, 33, 35, woo, going, 38. Wow, I'm gonna stop in there. Okay, so acceleration, really, really nice. And the next thing I really like about this board as an improvement over the X1 Pro is the charge port. Now I'm sure you've probably already seen a couple of videos on the board, you've probably seen Daniel Kwan's.
But better.
But I cannot stress this point enough, how good the location of the charge port is. It's moved from being at the back between those two motors, which was so fiddly to get in and so easy to knock out. They've now put it to the front of the board, to the rear of that truck. And it's an absolute masterful place to put it and hide it. It's going to be removed from the elements. It's going to stop moisture from coming up onto it. It's just a very smart place to put it, and I'm so happy they did it. It was my biggest gripe, probably almost my only gripe with the X1 Pro, was where that charge port was. And let's be honest, the only reason that was there is it was a legacy from the X1 before the Riot even existed. But they've used their brains, they've taken the time and they've redesigned it. And I think that shows that Exway is always innovating. Not to go, let's just use the same deck. Let's just do what we've always done. Let's move the charge port. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of the first ride on the X1 MAX. Let's end it with a SWOT analysis like we always do. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Let's start at the top and work our way down. Strengths on this board is obviously its look, its sex appeal. It is just Look at it, my shadows on it. It's just a beautiful looking board. Nothing hanging down below, under an inch thick. These nose and tail protectors, awesome strength that they're now being included. Really glad they moved to the Trist trucks. These are a lot easier to set up and play around with and change bushings on. Another great strength is they've stuck with their 85mm Exway wheels. The bigger motors, the bigger battery, the charge port being moved to that front truck, which we showed during the ride. It's just, these are all really big strengths. The weight, the carryability, it's all very, very good, and what you'd expect from the X1 MAX and from Exway. Now let's move on to W, weaknesses. Are there any weaknesses with this board? Well, when you take into consideration what it's supposed to be, no, there are no weaknesses. Now, if this was supposed to be a 2-in-1 board, if this was supposed to be something that gives incredible range, then we'd be talking about the battery size or the wheel options. But as it stands, the X1 MAX being a pretty beautiful looking longboard design, designed for street carving, it has no weaknesses. I've had the grip tape off. I've seen inside there you cannot fit a bigger battery. So we can't say they should have a bigger battery. I mean, we can't say there's an opportunity for a bigger battery for this particular board. Some boards have space. This one is jam-packed. Now let's move on to O, opportunities. Now there is an opportunity with this board. This is just from me looking from the outside into Exway. I think there's a massive missed opportunity for this board to come with the Loom pack like they've got on the Wave, the built-in lights. I would have loved to see an option on the X1 MAX to have built-in lights with this board. It would have just ticked it over that level of premium to be able to have built-in tail lights and a built-in headlight. It makes that board, for me personally, it is such a good offering, and I'm surprised they didn't offer it with the X1 MAX. There's probably a very good reason, and I'm sure someone will comment down below. I'll ask Exway why they didn't, but it would have been awesome to see built-in lights. And as always, the last one is T, threats. Are there any threats on this board? No, absolutely no threats at all. The board is a pleasure to ride, it really is. The trucks are very, very loose in the box when you get them out. As I mentioned, I did have to tighten them up a little bit, 90A bushings. But again, that's something you customize and you can play around with and get just right for your style of riding. But as far as threats, no ghost accelerations, no cutouts at all, no lockups. Yeah, absolute pleasure to ride. Really, really like it. And it's under $1,000 bucks. I think it's $900 US, I think. I'll put the link in the description so you can see for your area how much it costs. Good work, X1. All right guys, and that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at the X1 MAX. Don't forget, we've got the competition running for the $100 NobleMan voucher. I've told you how to enter it. Do it now. We'll do the draw in 2 weeks' time. So 14 days, we'll do the live draw. And remember, you need to be in the chat to win. So somebody who is watching live will win the $100 voucher. And we're going to keep doing little giveaways like this quite regularly. I've got a nice little stockpile of stuff that I can give away. But that ends the video today, guys. So remember, skate safe, wear a helmet, and we'll see you next time.